Welcome back to GDQ HOTFIX, everybody. I'm Author Blues, and against all odds, we are still here with Sonic and the Shiny Things Marathon. We'll be continuing on until midnight tonight, roughly, so make sure that you stay tuned. For now, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog, which I've written for Genesis, and I can guarantee you, looking right at this is not Genesis, so that one's on me. But before I throw it over to Finalflame for him to set up the marathon run and probably tell us that this is not on the Sega Genesis, I do want to remind you that this is funded in parts through your bits and subscriptions. So please consider subscribing to support future broadcasts. Finalflame, what are we looking at?
Hey everyone, so this is definitely not the Sega Genesis. This is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Game Gear. Just to give a bit of a timeline on the series, so I just looked into this. This is the 5th Sonic game released. You have Sonic 1 Genesis, which was the original, Sonic 1 8-bit, which is Master System Game Gear version. Then you have a couple of very little known ones. One that I just found out, an arcade game called Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. I know nothing about this other than it was released in 1991. And then a puzzle game called Sonic Eraser. Then came this prior to the Sega Genesis Sonic 2. Therefore, this is the original Sonic 2, meaning I think we should just call this Sonic 2 and refer to the Sonic 2 Genesis one as Sonic 2 Genesis. Yeah, seems good to me. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get this started. Let me get to the title screen here. All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the spin dash was not added into a game until Sonic 2 Genesis, so this is... well, we can't spin dash here. We're going to be doing a lot of what you're seeing here called roll jumping. Hopefully not as much getting hit by spikes or, bouncing off spikes as it just did there. Not quite sure why it works that way. So roll jumps, a lot of using slopes to our advantage and rolling down them for extra speed. Just a little bit of a glitch there to show it off. If you were looking at the timer, you'd notice I hit the signpost at 20, but the timer kept counting. That's to give you a shorter score bonus right here. Or I should say time bonus. Hope y'all enjoy this sound. So for some reason, if you pause and unpause the game there, the timer just keeps going. It's not really useful in an actual run, but you do get less of that annoying sound, which, someone like me, I'm used to it. I don't mind it. Other people, maybe not so much. So, category, we are doing best ending. How that works in this game is we have 6 Chaos Emeralds to collect. The first 5 are all laying out in the open. First one is right up here. They're in Act 2 of the first 5 zones. And then, assuming you get all of them, you will get the last one off of the any % final boss in this game, which I'm not going to spoil right now. I will say it's not Eggman. It's not Robotnik. So a lot of people do have memories of this game. Not good memories, I might add. Mostly because of this stage coming up, Underground Zone Act 3. Yeah, by the way, we're not starting in Green Hills, anything like that. There's no green here, pretty much. So what we're going to do is just, jump along the stage. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Just keep jumping, do a big jump here, and oh no, we're going to land in lava. No, we get saved by Robotnik. Now, that might look kind of odd, but if you've played this boss, you know that, you had a better chance of surviving lava than this thing, the Antlion. So hopefully I'm going to show you that this really isn't too bad once you know what you're doing. So the biggest issue with this is, to most people, the pattern seems random, and to a certain degree it is. The pattern is actually based on the time when you get to this boss. Since I typically get to the boss the same time every time, I know what pattern I'm looking at. Alright, wanted to focus there, and we survived the boss. That's how you do it. So if I had been even a second later, I would have had a pattern that I'm not as used to, and possibly would have died. See, you can beat that boss. There is life after the underground. On the Master System version of this game, where you have a lot more screen space, the balls come at a set height, so it's much easier to jump over them and not really have to do anything. One of the reasons this is typically viewed as the more difficult version. Oh no, spikes. We're all right. So in the Sky High, so our next boss that we'll be fighting is the Hang Glider boss. I'm sure plenty of people in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the hang glider. Missed my jump, but that's all right. If all goes well, I can jump across the gap. So what I actually tried to do there is a 2-frame window where you can jump over the hang glider and make it to this ledge and not have to worry about it. Unfortunately, I grabbed it, but was able to jump off and go left before I fell down to a bottomless pit that actually isn't bottomless and won't kill you. Won't kill you if you know what you're doing. All right, I'll explain the hang gliders in a moment. This is actually the hardest emerald to get, and I'm already gonna die. Let's just restart that. So I need to do a couple precise jumps here at the start to get the emerald. There probably is another way of getting the emerald. If so, I don't know it. All right, if all goes well, I'll bounce. Yep, bounce off that cloud right into the emerald. So the hang gliders, how you actually would use them is just tap left. You don't want to hold right at all, or you'll just nosedive straight to the bottom of the screen and die. And I'm pretty sure anyone that beat the underground boss, that's what we all did. I know I did and could never get past Sky High 1. So that's how you do it. So now on to the Sky High 3 boss. So the bosses in this game are pretty interesting to me. They're not against Eggman or Robotnik, whichever you prefer to call them. Yeah, not until the very end, at the least. I didn't actually want to jump there, but we're good. So bottomless pits, you don't want to fall into them. And now we're going to kill some mini chickens. That's all right, just take it easy there. And now we're killing some eggs, and I'm purposely taking it easy here because I want to be on the right side of the screen. And now I have to hit this 6 times, remember that for later. So something that wasn't too obvious what I was doing there, and you'll see this a couple times in the run, when I'm actually bouncing off the enemy, I was holding right to get to the wall faster, and then immediately holding left to get to the boss faster. If I didn't do that, then that chicken would have actually fired lasers, and I probably would have hit one and bounced right into it and died. So on to Aqua Egg Zone. So the next mechanic we're going to see is this. We can bounce on water. Cool. So this is another short zone. If I do this correctly, I didn't get the swag, but that's exactly what you want to do. If you get the swag, you actually are facing left during that, and it looks really cool, but it doesn't save any time. So no big deal. We still finished it quickly. Another 300,000 time bonus. Yeah, this game is not timed RTA because of this time bonus. This is one of the worst, not the worst, but one of the worst in Sonic games. Fortunately, I'm actually holding a button during the countdown to speed it up, or else we could be there just all day, and nobody wants that. So Act 2 is a little bit differently. I am going to focus here for a moment. I have a visual cue here. If all goes well, nope, okay. We're taking the invincibility. So what I was trying to do there is hold right and land right on top of that enemy that I just jumped into, and I would have actually crossed all the way to over here. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. It's a very tight window to do that. In my case, I bounced the wall there. So this means I'm dealing with not only going slow, but a lot of lag. In part courtesy of the stage, in part courtesy of having the invincibility. Hope you all enjoyed that music. You will hear more of it later. So we can actually control this bubble with up, down, left, right. Speed it up, slow it down. So I'm actually holding up during that to go faster. I'm doing the same thing here. If you hit anything with this bubble, it will pop. And now I actually want to slow it down to creep under those spikes and continue my journey up. And this is like one of the laggiest spots of the game, is this hallway right here. I could be spamming jump buttons and not get any jump. Up here to the left is where you would find speed shoes if you were playing on the Master System version. We're not, so they're not there. It's a ring box for whatever reason. Another laggy hallway, and now we're going to take this little tunnel down. This will lead us to the Chaos Emerald, 3rd of 6. And I didn't bring this up earlier, but you might have noticed something at the very start of the stage, and you're going to see it again, which is why we're going backwards now to a dead end. And that is fake floors and fake walls. So there's actually a fake wall up here that we're going to jump through, and it takes us right to the end. If you didn't go this path, then you'd be in for a heck of a trip. And getting through that is actually not that easy. That is another laggy part, and you don't want to miss a jump there. But you'd end up all the way at the bottom right of the stage, have to take a bubble all the way up while dodging spears and enemies and everything else, and it is a nightmare. Like, your run's dead if you end up there. So on to Act 3, the boss. not too difficult. Another one where, kind of like Underground, the mechanics are slightly different between the Master System version and the Game Gear version. Hopefully you will not see why. I want to be careful. I don't want to stand too close to him. If you stand close to him in the Game Gear version, he'll actually do an extra attack. Kind of been referred to as a tail whip, which is pretty accurate. He jumps and hits you with his tail, and you die, because you may have noticed there's no rings in Act 3. So you got one shot, and that's it. But we killed him. Gotta be careful to stay away from him during that, because you can still touch him, his hitbox is active, and you will die. That's happened to me more times than I'd like to admit. But once again, 6 hits, boss is dead. Easy peasy. So if we were doing any percent, that would be halfway through the game, but we're not, so we've got some extra to go. Hey, look, we ended up at Green Hills. Not the first zone of the game. I know that throws everybody off. Every game, typically every Sonic game starts off with something green, just not this one. So if you made it here, there's one extra life, there's another. Missed my jump, that's all right. I want to come up here. There's a couple more extra lives in this zone. I do not expect to be getting any more. Did not land up there like I wanted, so spamming jump, didn't get it. That's how the stage goes. Ideally, we want to just land on the top and jump across, but it's okay. So yeah, the game gives you a lot of extra lives in Green Hills 1, a couple in Green Hills 2, and more than likely you need them for Green Hills 3. Yeah, Sonic CD theme, Choo Choo Sonic Warrior. All right, the start of the stage, hopefully it goes correctly. And didn't quite make it across. That's all right. It just means I won't have the speed I would like coming into this loop. But no big deal. Okay, that was a little interesting. Not quite how I wanted to do that. So the next Emerald, this is probably one of the easiest to find. And let's hopefully not overshoot it or undershoot it. Hey, all right. I've had runs where it's taken me like 5 times to get that emerald, because it's really easy to undershoot the springs or overshoot them. It's really nice to get that out of the way. If you do miss it, you can just go back towards the left and try it again. So it's time lost, but it's not a big deal. You can still do it. And now on to one of the worst stages. Yeah, a little bit.
You had one that was just wasn't in the hang glider level. It was just floating in the air.
Yeah, I know there's another way of getting it than what I did, but I couldn't tell you how to do it.
Sure.
So this stage stinks. Fortunately, I figured out a way where it's almost completely holding right, but not quite. Everything you didn't see was a spike, and now it's an RNG boss. So that's 3 hits. I'm hoping for good patterns. I mean, he started me off with a pretty bad pattern already. That's 5 hits. This will be 7 hits, so 1 more hit. Okay, that wasn't a terrible pattern, actually. It started off not good, but other than that, that was really good. RNGesus was on my side. Yeah, the boss is honestly easier than the stage itself. There are so many spikes in that stage. I've seen so many people just game over there, and I can't blame them at all. So on to Gimmick Mountain. I'll take this spring that's only here in certain versions. I said take the spring, Sonic. And now we're on to flywheels. Take them all the way to the top. Let's hopefully get all my jumps. Didn't get hit by that bomb. And we're going to take this invincibility and skip half the stage. So we're just going to jump down to the right here. So, go up. So we're going to jump over a minecart up here, and you're meant to take that towards the bottom right of the stage, and then climb up and take another minecart all the way down to here. But with the invincibility, you can just do this. And run across all these spikes. And the signpost is at the bottom left of the stage. That's weird in a Sonic game, right? In this game, you do have to hit the signpost. You can't just be in the general area above and below it. It's really easy to actually jump over the signpost, and I've done that way too many times. So if you've been counting, we now have 4 of the Chaos Emeralds. I also have a couple rings. Thank you. The 5th one's kind of hidden. It's up here through another false wall. That's what happens when I forget to jump. That wasn't even the game not giving me a jump. So this is the last one we'll be collecting. It's out in the open. You may have noticed there, I purposely made sure not to roll into the emeralds. something that's kind of subtle. If you roll into the emeralds, you will roll straight through them afterwards and keep on going towards whatever direction you're going in. I did not want to do that in this case because I needed to turn around very quickly. So I made sure to walk into it and made sure not to fall down to the bottom of the stage. That's good. One more bomb to make our way through. Couldn't jump over that one, unfortunately. You can jump into them and avoid taking damage. It's pretty difficult. Ideally, you just want to jump over it. And now on to the one thing every Sonic game has to have somewhere. It's an auto-scroller. And this is the auto-scroller for this game. So we are going to have to move initially. Now, keep in mind, we, again, do not have any rings, so I'm going to take this easy because I don't want to land in spikes. And the next platform we're going to jump on is our companion platform. We want to keep this with us for a while, but it doesn't like us. You're about to see why. So I'm going to get off of it here, miss my ride, because it tries to kill you up there. If you stay on, you're just going to die. You're not going to know what's coming. We do want to make sure it stays very close to being on screen. If it's not, it will despawn, and you have no way through this tunnel because you can't damage boost. You don't have any rings. And here we are at the Gimmick Mountain boss, the Mecha Boar. So I'm trying to time these hits. Ideally, I want to hit him as soon as he lands on the ground and the spikes are retracted like that, because then you don't have the falling rocks from the ceiling. They're not too difficult to dodge once you get used to it, but it's just one less thing to worry about. And you really want to be careful not to fall back into his spikes as well. I can't count to 8. Classic Sonic speedrunners cannot count to 8. I thought that was 8 hits. Nope, that was 7. Here's the 8th. So you may have also noticed the last 2 bosses have taken 8 hits to kill, whereas the first 3 only took 6 hits. Don't you love consistency? Something you saw there as well. I'm not sure if it's specifically a Game Gear version, where if you jump into the capsule too early and it hasn't actually settled yet, it doesn't count. On to one of my favorite zones, Scrambled Egg. It has amazing music. So this stage is very much like a maze. It's not too difficult. It's just a matter of knowing where you're going. Shout outs to gaining speed rolling uphill, by the way, as you saw a moment ago and you're seeing right here again. Good old physics. So here we want to go left, left, down, and then we'll keep going down here at the very end. And that prevents us from going backwards through the stage. And I'm going to try a skip coming up that, for whatever reason, is not consistent on this version. It's consistent on Master System. I've yet to figure out exactly why here. So I'm in the spike pit, I'm jumping, yes. And that platform, we forced it to come to the left much quicker than it usually would, because we actually passed it. It was going towards the right of the stage, and it takes a while if you have to wait on it. So I'm really happy to get that. Down, right, down, left, and we're here at the end of the stage. In less than a minute. So from one of my favorite stages to one of my least favorite stages, Scrambled Egg 2. This stage is just a bit of a nightmare. Near the end, it's really easy to die because of just inputs the game decides you don't need, as well as here. So I take it very safe there so I don't fall down the spike pit. Whoop! Missed my jump. Alright, that's what I wanted, so that skips some of the stage. I'll roll down this hill, jump across, grab an extra life, jump across again, and fall on down, skipping a good decent chunk of the stage. Okay, so this section's kind of interesting. We're going to go around in a loop here, and it's something you have to do, or a variation of some sort, because that platform we just jumped off of is now over here. Let's get my jump. Got it. Okay, we survived that stage. So yeah, if you didn't take that loop, or a variation of it, or if you didn't jump as late as you possibly could, that platform would actually still be making its way over to the left side, and you would just drop down on the spikes and die. So on to what would be the final stage if this was any percent. But, well, this is Sonic and the Shiny Things. We gotta get our shiny things. So this is just a spring maze all the way to the top. Got my little clip onto the platform that actually skips a spring. And by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet, but shout out to the boss music in this game. It's very different between the two versions, and I much prefer this one. Probably because that's what I grew up with. So this is Silver Sonic. What we didn't get to see in Mania, because, you know, they love skipping him for whatever reason. So he just requires 8 hits. I am getting amazing RNG. Wow. Okay, 2 more hits. That was an incredible pattern. I don't think I've ever had RNG that good. And he just dropped the last Chaos Emerald. So that's the second portion of RNG in this run. He can do whatever he wants, and he just gave me amazing patterns. I will never see that again. So we have now unlocked Crystal Egg Zone. So I want to be careful. Ideally, I don't want to fall down to the bottom of the stage. It's not a big deal if you do. Gotta take out. Whoa. Okay, let's get my jump. Small jump. Okay, we're falling down to the bottom of the stage. That's all right. Because we could just recollect one of these rings that we're losing and make it across that long spike pit. So, time loss, yes. Run ender, no. A spring, though. Come on. Ideally, that should be one of the quickest stages on the run. But at the very least, it's not too difficult. Just unfortunate with my jumps, didn't quite get where I wanted. Yep, I believe this was Silver Sonic's first appearance in the series. So this is another really fun stage, Crystal Egg Act 2. It's also not an easy one. So I've really, in practice, I actually died to this and lost a world record pace run. So I really don't want to do that again. So I'm going to take it a little bit easy here. We're coming up to a nightmare of moving flywheels. All right. Got through the part that gave me trouble last time. So we're kind of in the background here. This is a bit of a maze. I'm jumping over a couple pits, none of which would kill you. Nice, skip the platform there. And we're almost done this stage. By the way, shout out to this music. When I first heard it, I was not a fan, but it has really grown on me, and this might be my favorite track in this game. Hopefully we won't. Never mind. Okay. Well, we're going to see something down here since I'm down below. Let's just roll through and right. Okay, we collected it, and I just didn't see it. There was actually... Oh, nice. Jumped over the signpost. There was actually a continue monitor there. The only one in the game. You can't really see it. But it grants you continue. All the Chaos Emeralds I've collected also give me continues. So, all right. I didn't really have time to talk about this, but time for the final boss. The hardest part of this game. Hopefully it goes well. I'm going to focus real quick. Okay. You know what? I've got time. Let's take an intentional death there and try that again. So what I want to do, I need to go as quick as possible and make it so Robotnik does not have time to attack. Since I do have plenty of lives. Right, I'll give him one more go and then just go ahead and kill him as normal as you can. But this boss, doing it normal takes a lot of time, so even if I get what I want here, I still save time over doing it normally. Alright, we're just going to give it an attempt on normal here. So this boss is a huge pain if you all know what you're doing. Right now, I'm actually going around this circle 3 times. That is to avoid all these attacks. So I'm going to press up here and hopefully not bounce into anything. And now I'm going to go around here 6.5 times because he does an extra attack during this one that I need to avoid. And there's just no better time to pop out and avoid getting hit by something. That's 3. 4. There's still a chance I can die here. 5. We'll see what happens. There's 6. So press down, hold right. All right, time for the laggiest part of the game right here. Sonic couldn't quite make the jump. All right, so time will be coming up here on the fade out. So Robotnik, because he's Robotnik, escapes. And why do we do this? To rescue Tails. Now, Sonic's kind of afraid, apparently. Hey, look, it's Tails. I believe this is actually Tails' first appearance in the series. You might have noticed him on the title screen as well as all the cards. Oh, hey, look, Sonic's not sure why we did this, by the way. He's shrugging. And that is time. And now your best ending. Right here, we have Save Tails. And you actually get what you don't get in the Master System version. You get this music. Best ending music. Really good music too. I don't know why they didn't do it in Master System version.
Oh, Sonic was in this one.
Sonic was in this one. Yes, it's a Sonic game. Yeah, that is Sonic 2 Game Gear. I know a lot of people look at this game and feel intimidated by it and have bad memories and think, oh, I would never play that game. No way, it's horrible. It really isn't that bad. There's certain things you got to get used to, but it's actually kind of fun and, believe it or not, relaxing to play this game. Maybe not necessarily best ending, but, the game in general.
I had repressed memories of playing this game as a kid, and this brought them all back to the surface. I actually had a Game Gear as a kid and completely forgot that I had played this, and I saw that first boss, the one with the
antlion,
the like crab and the antlion in the pit, and I instantly recognized it.
Yeah, that's actually what drew me to this game. My brother had a Game Gear growing up, and he had both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 for it. And in this game, I could never get through that first boss. And as a result of one of the 12-hour challenges, actually, a couple years ago, I decided, you know what? I want to get revenge on that game and play it. And at the time, there was nobody playing it other than like one, maybe two people. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad I picked this up. It's something not a lot of people play. So getting to show it off in places like this is really nice. A lot of people just never got to see the rest of the game.
Yeah, the mechanics seem very different than other Sonic games, but like in kind of a nice way. It seems like movement can be a lot more fluid sometimes with this. It's just mostly running and spin jumping.
Yeah, the biggest issue you run into, and it's really only in a couple places where you get used to it, is you'll get dropped inputs just because of the high amount of lag, but it's really only certain places, like in Scrambled Egg, Aqua Lake 2, and Underground 1, where that occurs. So you learn to get used to it, and one technique I didn't get a chance to talk about, I actually try and hit, I have two jump buttons, and I try and hit them one after the other about a frame or two apart, just to try and give me an extra chance at getting that jump.
Right.
Sonic is now looking up to the sky, and it's not just Tails up there. Tails isn't dead. Good job. We beat the game.
Very good.
That's all I've got.
Well, do you want to do any last-minute shout-outs before we switch over?
Just thanks, Amber, for putting this whole thing together and putting the idea out there. It's kind of crazy how quick this came together from hey, we should look into doing this, to, hey, it's happening, to, hey, it's going to be on GDQ. And yeah, thank you, GDQ staff, for putting this together as well and helping out and doing all the hosting. And there's a lot behind the scenes going on, so thank you to all of them.
Sure. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have Kirby Master doing Sonic Advance for the Game Boy Advance.